Hi, I'm Jeff Gonzalez, President of Trident Concepts. Today we're going to be talking about some suggestions on properly maintaining your rifle, specifically how to clean it. What we're going to do is we're going to go through a couple different cleaning kits here. We're going to talk about some field kits, maybe a little bit larger kit, and then like your home kit. Then we're going to break the gun down. We're going to show you some spots that you might want to pay particular attention to. We're going to talk a little bit about the interval that you might want to use for cleaning. Then we'll go ahead and go through cleaning. After we get that done, what we're going to do is we'll reassemble. We're going to show you where we'd suggest you oiling up the rifle, and then we're going to finish with a function check. The interval that you're going to use is going to be based off of your own needs. If you feel the need to clean the rifle more often because of reliability issues or duty situations, that's up to you. That's your choice. There isn't really a specific interval that says every such and such round count I must clean my rifle. A lot of it is going to be based off of your experience, what you're comfortable with. Me, I'm comfortable shooting several thousands of rounds through these guns and just continually re-lubing them. Other people may not have that level of comfort. Whatever the case is, the way that you're going to break these things down and clean is going to be, again, kind of up to your own experience. You can get really detailed and you can break out all sorts of cleaning supplies and cleaning tools, and you can literally scrub the bluing off of these guns if that's what you want. You don't need to, though. And so with more experience, you're going to figure out what you have to do, what you should do, and then work it out from there. So why don't we just take a short break, and we'll get into the meat and potatoes of this. All right, welcome back to our cleaning module. So what we're going to talk about real quick is the bare bones cleaning kit that you might need. You can get a more of a military issued type cleaning kit, and what you'll find it generally comes in a small little nylon pouch like this. You're going to have an assortment of different rods, a few different brushes, maybe a actual cleaning brush, some bore patches, you know, a cleaning rod. Now I've added a few things here. I've added a bore snake and I've added a little greenie pad, and then the two different cleaning, or I guess the cleaning solution that I use is the Slip 2000 degreaser, and then I use the Slip 2000 weapons lube as part of my, overall maintenance process. So this is kind of like the bare bones. As you figure out what you need and what you don't need, you might move up to a slightly larger kit. This is my travel kit. This is what I actually, stuff all my cleaning gear into for not just rifle but my pistols as well. And then, maybe back at home station you might have like a really elaborate large kit. And this is like a small one. This is my small one. My precision rifle kit is huge compared to this. So, this might be kind of like your go-to once you get back to the house. Again, this is just general suggestions. You can add all sorts of other things to it. You can add some Q-tips, some dental picks. You can add just a litany of different cleaning apparatuses to help you clean your weapon. But this is what I find to be the bare bones minimum. I definitely recommend that whenever you're training or whenever you're traveling and doing other types of shooting activities, that you have at the very minimum this type of cleaning kit. So what I'm going to be actually using today, I'm going to be using some tools that I'm more accustomed to when I'm back home, when I'm not on the road. Obviously you can see I got the bigger bottle of degreaser. I've got, instead of collapsible cleaning rods, I've got fixed cleaning rods. I have some gloves, and I have a special tool that I use. This is nothing more than a 1911 type tool, but because of its cantilever type mount, it's perfect for using to get into different crevices, if you will. So I'm going to be using this stuff to work with the rifle I've got today. So let's do this. Let's clean up the table to where we just have the cleaning stuff we're going to be using and our rifle, and we'll start disassembly. Start with my disassembly. Make sure you release the bolt when you do that. There can sometimes be a little bit of tension on this particular pin here. So a simple way to do it is to use something tighter than your fingernail. And this one is really tight, plus I'm wearing gloves. So once I get this thing broken out, I can start by removing the bolt and the charging handle. Just kind of push those off to the side. I'm going to go ahead and pull out, separate the top receiver here. About the only other thing that I tell people to do is to go ahead and pull out the buffer. And let's take a look at what our buffer, good Lord, this thing's fused in there. Let's see what our buffer looks like after 10,000 rounds through it. And you can definitely tell that it's got a little bit of rounds through it. It's that thing is coated. It's actually some coloration underneath it. For field maintenance, that's about as far as we recommend people going. We're going to disassemble the bolt and the bolt carrier a little bit later, but just to keep all those small pieces together for now, we're going to leave it, push it off to the side here. And we'll start by cleaning our lower assembly. Again, there's not a lot of science to any of this. Start by wiping down any excess grease or oil or foreign debris. That'll help get a lot of the big chunks out of the way here. And oh man, I'm hearing all sorts of stuff come flying out. Brass filings and stuff. All right. Now again, my purpose here is just to kind of get some of the big chunks off and out of the way here. Now you can see that with this special coating that LWRC uses, that a lot of this stuff is just wiping right off, and I'm not really having to use a lot of cleaning solution at this point. I will here shortly, but for now, wow, that did a really good job. For now, I'm just going to go through and just kind of break out all that large crud. Okay, so now that I've got this thing somewhat cleaned off, I'm going to go ahead and give it a couple of shots here of this degreaser. And just kind of a little scrubbing here. Yeah, it's coming out really nice. Alrighty. So next, I'm just going to go ahead and clean off all that degreaser that I put on here. Now, again, the level to which you clean, the detail, I mean, if you're going to go through a Q-tip inspection, well then sure, you're going to want to really get down in there and get as much of it out as you possibly can. If it's just to go ahead and clean it up after a day at the range, or you haven't shot it in a while, you don't really have to get that in depth here. I'm going to use my little tool here to get inside these special little areas. Just kind of work it around. Now the only thing I caution you on is when you're sticking stuff inside of this fire control area, just make sure that when you pull out that you don't leave little pieces of the cleaning product inside of there. Q-tips are great for that. They somehow always kind of tear off there and leave little strands of their head stuck inside of the fire control system. And while I don't think it's catastrophic, it's probably one of those things that you just want to be mindful about. All right. Well, like I said, I could probably get some Q-tips in there and really get it a little bit cleaner, but for my purposes, that is about as far as I need to go. And, honestly, the lower receiver doesn't take a lot of time. You can spend a lot of time on here, but you really don't have to get as much cleaning in on this as one might think. All right, we'll set that aside.